Rob Thomas with Club and Resort Business, and welcome to another episode of Club and Resort Talks. Club and Resort Talks, this episode is brought to you by the GCSAA. Golf Course Superintendents Association of America is dedicated to serving its members, advancing their profession, and improving communities throughout the enjoyment, through the enjoyment and vitality of the game of golf. To learn more, visit gcsaa.org. I am joined today by Phil Keren, our senior editor. Phil, how's it going?
Rob, I'm doing well. A little wiped out from the trip, but doing well.
Yeah, this was your first trip. I've been on a bunch of these trips to the GCSAA conference, formerly Golf Industry Show. I was there more than a decade ago with another company I worked for. So I'm old hat at this, but this was your very first time. What was your favorite thing?
Well, I think my favorite thing just in general was getting to speak with a lot of different folks about all the great products and services they're offering to the industry. Just a couple quick highlights that stood out. A couple companies that were there. There was a company, Power Film Solar, that designs and manufactures solar panels that can be used on golf cars. Nice conversation there. Golf Pro Netting is a company that actually installs netting for driving ranges. They work with a lot of clubs. And I actually had a chance to stop by a booth, Southwest Greens Golf and Grass. They actually create synthetic putting greens. Gentleman actually told me mostly at this point their customers are residential, but they're looking to get into working more with golf courses and private clubs. I actually had a chance to putt there at and try out their surface. And I'm going to post a video on that. Putting didn't go real well. Hit 5 or 6 from about 10, 12 feet. Didn't sink any. A little ugly.
So should we blame the surface or your putting stroke?
Absolutely blame my putting stroke. Surface I thought was fantastic. It really
All right,
was.
fantastic. That's very good. Hey, we also got to visit our friends at Toro, John Deere, Yamaha, some of the big boys. So that's what makes the show so great. There are the biggest and the best products and companies in the industry, like our Toros and John Deeres and Yamahas. But there's also these small mom and pop shops that are visiting for the first time or introducing a brand new product or service to the industry. So it's a really exciting time to be here.
It is. Mentioning the Toro and John Deere and Yamaha, what was interesting hearing from them was more and more about these autonomous vehicles that can be used on the golf courses. And I know one of them was mentioning that a lot of the superintendents were wondering about whether the vehicles can even be used at night, which I think, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here. It sounds like they can be. And that seems like a promising thing, obviously, for superintendents to be able to actually have work done overnight, possibly, if they want.
Yeah. That was Toro. They say that you don't need lights to do what they're doing because everything's, controlled through a satellite. They do recommend always having somebody there on property to make sure things don't go haywire. You don't want blades just cutting through the neighborhood, right? So, but no, everything's getting to be more and more autonomous, robotic. It's really exciting.
It is a lot of exciting things with technology, which, I just have a layman's understanding of everything, but that's fine. As someone who's a journalist first, I love just talking to people and asking them about what they do and what they're offering. And it was really interesting. And it's kind of exciting, inspiring to hear from all these companies from around the country about what they're doing. And in this case, of course, to help the golf course industry and the superintendents.
Yeah. Well, even the environment, John Deere was rolling out this year is going to be coming out actually, some more electronic or more electric vehicles.
Yes.
So you're not worried about having like the hydraulic spills, which can really, wreak havoc to a green or a fairway. It's getting more and more environmentally conscious. That's the industry. People think golf courses are bad for the environment, but it's just the opposite. Really, it's provides a buffer to a lot of the streams and rivers that lead to our drinking water. So it's actually some of the best environmentally conscious land on the earth.
And on that, you mentioned water. I know when I went back for a little while on Thursday, just before I left, And there was actually a presentation discussing the issue of water conservation and what superintendents are trying to do and try to be more conscious of conserving water and using water in a smart way, if you will. So that, without a doubt, that's on superintendents' radars, much more so than it was in the past.
Yeah, the Colorado River is drying up, and courses out in California, Nevada, Arizona, they're really struggling. Whereas we're seeing all these maps that saying eventually Miami is going to be, in the ocean. It's going to be underwater. Right. So we got the East Coast that's worried about too much water. We got the West Coast that's not getting enough water. Thank God there's people smarter than me that are going to solve these problems.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Phil, without spoiling the next part of our podcast,
okay,
I'm going to tell you that my favorite thing this year and in years past, Flyaway Geese. I love dogs. They had 3 puppies there, but they also had these accomplished and well-trained border collies. I believe they're border collies that were going around and chasing these ducks just by a whistle, a certain whistle.
Right.
They'll turn right, they'll turn left, they'll stop, they'll do everything. And we recorded about 9-10 minute video of the demonstration. I believe the dog's name was Jen. Jen not only was totally adorable, but man, so well trained. And I was talking to a golf course superintendent afterwards and saying, we don't have one of these. All we have is me on my gator chasing the geese away off the property. So some people aren't as fortunate to have these trained dogs, but if you're in the market, man, check out flyawaygeese.com.
Absolutely.
And,
I was going to say, speaking as somebody who owns a German Shepherd who only knows how to sit and perhaps shake hands, I was very impressed with how well trained that dog was.
Shaking hands is one step ahead of our dog. So your German Shepherd and my Havanese together, we don't make much of a. They're good companions.
Oh, they are. They're great companions for sure.
That's about it. Hold on, and let's show you that video.
As I said in the earlier demo, Jen is a dog that I imported from Wales when she was about, 16 weeks old. I imported her and 2 of her brothers and sisters. She is Jen, one of her brothers is Juice, and the other one is Tawny. It was a thing. So we have Jen and Juice, and that's her song. She loves a little Snoop Dogg on the side here. So Jen is a blue and white border collie. What that is it means that she is black and white with a dilute gene that makes her appear to be silvery or blue. She almost looks red or chocolate, but she is indeed by genetics blue. Border collies come in black and white, blue and white, red and white, what they call lilac, which is a dilute of the red merle, blue merle, and any variant of that with some tricolor mixed in. So short-haired and long-haired. So if you live somewhere that you don't want a long-haired dog with lots of fur, these guys come in short-hair as well. We at Flyaway Geese train border collies to do wildlife management on golf courses and corporate facilities, airports, and things like that. These guys control anything that spends time on the ground. So that means ducks, coots, cormorants, elk, deer, anything that's spending time on the ground. The border collie appears as a predator. So when you watch Jen work here in just a few minutes, she stalks. She puts her head down, her tail in between her legs, and she moves like a wolf or coyote. So when I pull these ducks out here in just a second, Jen is going to take commands from me via whistle. One of them means left, one of them means right. She has a lie-down whistle and a walk-up whistle. That moves her around the birds in different directions. I told them earlier, this is Jen's first Golf Course Superintendents Association show. She is a young dog. Her predecessor, Meg, the blue merle dog that you've all seen the last 4 years, retired. Goodness. And Meg is working on a sheep farm with about 1,200 sheep. So she's 10 years old this year. Last year was her last show. So we're going to pull these ducks out and do some demo for you. You can watch Jen move them around. Lost your friends. So I will turn the microphone off when I whistle, but I'll tell you, again, Jen has a left whistle, which I'll show you right here. And a right. She also has a right whistle, and that's this one here. first show, and she's doing a great job. She's only 2 years old. Jen also works, she works cattle. She runs in the United States Border Collie Handlers Association sheepdog trials, so she qualified for the National Nursery Finals last year, which is just for young dogs working sheep. She also qualified in the cattle dog finals in open and in nursery, so she's got quite the record for a young dog, and we've been really, really pleased with her. I'll answer the question about where you sign up to win the dog.